50/50 Baltimore is a lesson in how not to do development. I mean, it took us 2.5 years to put the land together. It took us
development for dummies. Is that a
the what not to do, to make money on a development is 50/50. But the reality is, at the end of the day, our commitment to doing well and doing good, we will eventually be fine financially on this project, without a doubt. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about sitting down with 3 African American congregations that were in that neighborhood long before I ever was, right? We were talking about meeting with almost every business owner that's on the 5,000 block of Baltimore Avenue, if not once, then twice. We're talking about knocking on the doors like we're running in a political campaign within a 2-block radius of that property. I mean, we treated this like we were running for office. And the whole purpose was, and that was before we even filed the zoning application. The purpose was to find out what the community was aiming for, so that when we went to put this thing in the ground, we actually built equitably. And so, yeah, it's a lesson in how not to do development. You want to be in, you want to be out, you want to make your money, you want to reposition the property so that you can refinance it and lease it out or sell it. That's not our goal. Our goal is very different at this point. And it's warranted partnerships, not only with the congregations and with the RCOs, but it warranted partnerships with PIDC.
Yeah.
That's where our funding is coming from. It gave us opportunities that sold our commercial tenants. We had LOIs to rent these 2 commercial spaces 9 months ago. We just filed for our permits on this building last Tuesday. So that's amazing. We were sitting on LOIs and we didn't have a building design yet.
Wow.
Yeah. That doesn't happen unless you are partnering with folks for all the right reasons, I think.
Do you, excuse me, I invited you to be a part of this because I think you do things differently, I really do. And when we met and, just the way you spoke about the community and the people that you care about, do you believe you do it differently? And there's got to be a part of recognition in what we do. I don't know, maybe not everyone's like me, but recognition is a part of why I do what I do. And you've been recognized in periodicals, you've spoke before, you've received awards. Is there one piece of recognition that stands out for you, and do you believe you do it differently versus your peer group?
Yeah, I do. I don't want to knock my peer group.
I'm not asking you to.
Yeah. But I do think that we do it differently. I think development is really hard. Right? I think being a real estate developer is one of the hardest professions that somebody can get into, because there's always a curveball coming your way at your head that you don't even see coming. And no matter how experienced you are, you don't know everything. And there's a lot of players, a lot of personalities that you have to deal with to get a building out of the ground.
So that story you said before was when you leaned in and took one on the chin.
Multiple times.
Took the base and then you learned from that.
Absolutely. And so, I think that to resolve for some of the difficulties that I knew that we would face as a developer, and living in the community in which we were developing, those 2 things intersected with the decision that if we were going to develop here where I lived and worked, we were going to have to be different. How was that going to be? Well, it was going to be first admitting that we were part of what was problematic about gentrification, right? That was the first big pride that had to be swallowed. And we weren't, that although we didn't view ourselves as the bad guy, there would be folks in that community that would view us that way, right? And we had to address that head on. How were we going to address that? That was the first piece. The second piece for us was, could we make money without seeming like we were screwing everybody to do so? Right? And that part became about the equitable pieces, right? Could we make our units affordable enough that people that already live in the community could stay in this community? And the reality is that that's almost damn near impossible, right? Construction costs what it costs, financing costs what it costs, title is what it is. At the end of the day, that was going to be really hard to do. And so then it became a question of, do we want to get into the political game of going after LIHTC grants and affordable housing dollars and playing in that way? We're too small. We didn't want to go that way. So then we started looking at density as our answer, right? Could we take one on the chin a little bit financially to do some good? All of those three things, I don't think are conversations most developers are having internally with themselves. And I think that because we are, that makes us different. And we're having that a lot, often. I think there's other companies that do it the right way in terms of community-based. Ken Weinstein's Philly office retail group, amazing stuff, right? Jumpstart is an offshoot of Ken wanting to improve the neighborhood and getting other people involved in real estate, right? That's why I'm a part of it, because I love the fact that I can mentor somebody who lives in Germantown that can own real estate in Germantown, right? Gentrification is no longer as dire a problem if the neighborhood owns itself, right? Mosaic Development is another one that considers the community at the same time that it's actually developing. Now, they're starting to do some really high-end projects, right? The Marriott project they've got on North Broad Street for the boxing gym. I don't know how much community involvement is going into that project, but I know that that's their headspace.
Right.
So there are other developers out there, but most are not looking at it like this.
So I'd summarize it this way.
It was a long-winded answer.
Nuggets now.
Yeah.
From my perspective, I'd say, so you develop where you live and work, and some develop where they want the work.
Yes,
right?
Correct. We won't go where the work is. We'll create the work.
That's cool.
Correct. Yeah, 52nd Street is a good example.